Benigno Alvarez, a man who fought to be heard and so his people could be free. He was a man that participated in the Spanish Civil War. This war lasted 3 years, from 1936 to 1939. This war started when a part of the Spanish army, led by Francisco Franco, organized a strike against the Republican Democratic government. This conflict was between the Republicans, who were loyal to the democratic system, and the Nationalists, led by Franco.
Even with the help of several important people like Ernest Hemingway, George Orwell, and military help from France, the Republicans lost the war, leading to a dictatorship of 40 years, led by Francisco Franco. This led to a lot of immigration and a lot of injustice.
Benigno Alvarez was a man that played an important role in the beginnings of the Spanish Civil War. He was uncomfortable and disagreed with the situation that the primary sector of the Galician people was going through. Benigno Alvarez was born in Macera, Ourense province in 1900. He lived exactly 37 years. During the Republican time, he achieved great places in the government, making projects in towns and mostly in Galicia, where he founded the Galician Communist Party and the PCE, Partido Comunista Español, Communist Party of Spain, which turned it illegal during the dictatorship of Franco after the fall of the Republic.
After the military revolt on the 18th of July in 1936, immediately he began being pursued by the civil war. He decided to refugee in San Madem Mountains. At the end of 1936, he had the opportunity to escape to America, but he wanted to stay and keep fighting the guerrillas.
When he was 37 years old in the mountain range, there was a rough winter. Probably ill of tuberculosis, he died in a refugee camp called Openedo, next to the village of Bixues, the 11th of March 1937. The body was found the 13th of March. The body was attached to a car and exhibited to the town with a sign that said, "Here's the Maceda's veterinary surgeon. Communists had died in Ores." Family was persecuted and some of them managed to escape Spain and go to America. Here we have two interviews of Benigno's nieces. We are here with Felisa Fernandez Alvarez. Do you know something about Benigno?
I was born after he died. He was a senator in the Socialist Party and he did a lot for the Republic. Back then, he was a veterinarian. His name was Benigno Alvarez Gonzalez. Benigno dedicated his life for his career and to help others.
And why did you came to Mexico?
We came here because the people followed him a lot, and Franco wanted to get rid of everyone against him, so our family had to escape. My uncle Antonino came to Mexico as a refugee, and he was the one that brought us to Mexico. His name was Antonino Alvarez Gonzalez. He was a Benigno's brother.
And what happened to you and your family?
Well, the four of us were born during the war. Our uncle Benigno was killed by sympathizers to Franco. There was a price on his head and our family was persecuted for a long time. My mother was even sent to jail because he renounced her own brother.
And was he really a communist?
No, he was a very advanced person for his time. Everyone that had a different perspective, Franco, saw him as a threat. He did everything he could for their people. He was a Republican.
And how was the situation for you exactly?
The situation was a horror. We were persecuted. To the people of Macera were so good for us. They helped us a lot because they knew the type of family that we were. The grandfather was a veterinarian and the grandmother was a teacher. Everyone loved them. There came a time where my mother and her family couldn't leave the house because there was danger they faced. They couldn't even go to get food. So the people of Macera threw bread over the walls. I'm forever grateful for the people of Macera.
And how old were you when you came to Mexico?
I was 7 years old. My brother Luis was 10, Pedro 11, and Mercedes was 4.
Well, thank you, fam.
You're welcome.
We are with María de las Mercedes Fernández Álvarez. Which was your relationship to Benigno?
He was my uncle. He was the brother of my mother.
Do you know something about him?
Well, he was a veterinarian and he became a politician against Franco.
What was your experience?
I was very young when that happened, that's why I can't remember anything, but I know that my family was persecuted and most of Benigno's family members were assassinated.
How old were you when you came to Mexico?
I was 4 years old.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is just one example of the horrors that haunted innocent people. Entire families were destroyed because of having different opinions, because of choosing what is right even when the world says it's wrong. Benigno stood for something. Don't let anyone take away your freedom. Be strong and true to what you believe in. Franco had no mercy, and just because he saw someone thinking differently as a threat, he destroyed lives, peace, and families. No matter what the world says, stay true and hold your head up high.